they'll blow off the lint out of their pistol and they'll go shoot their 50 rounds, call it good, put a new one in. And 2020 is when I actually started Stay Ready training. It started with the mixed martial arts. I invited a bunch of law enforcement and just regular people. Weapon hit the ground right in front of that person, and they freaked out. And great instructor, just kind of called over for training. You can have the best gun in the world, and if you don't have fundamentals down, it's going to force on force training out at. There's a place in Gilbert that we use full arena, so we use like airsoft pistols and things like that.
Okay.
We do that for corporate events, private.
So you have all of this tactical training, you've done all of these wild things in your life, and now you have a training company where you're training people to be able to shoot, to, literally in the name, stay ready training. And what inspired you to end up taking that path after having a pretty decent law enforcement career?
I will say where it started is I had the MMA background. I knew how to handle myself standing on the ground wherever it went, and I was extremely comfortable. I kept seeing, and there's several clips in my mind that just pop up, but I kept seeing cops on videos that would get punched in the face, they would fall down, or whatever it may be, and they would instantly pull out their gun and start shooting. They think that I got punched in the face, it's the worst thing that could have happened to me. And I just thought to myself, well, I don't think anyone needs to die if they got, just or the other person doesn't need to die if they just, because they punched someone in the face. And it kind of made me upset that cops didn't take, law enforcement did not take their training serious. And the one thing I say, and it's the truth, there's the majority of law enforcement do not train, and there's a gun on every single scene. That was asked, I remember in my academy, my RTO walked in and she says, how many guns do you think out of all the scenes you go to, how many do you think have a weapon involved? And we all thought, we're like, well, 10%, 50%. She's like, 100% of every scene you go to has a weapon, and you bring one. You bring the weapon to every scene,
Right.
so everyone has it. Um, and so that got me thinking as well. But law enforcement, they don't like to seek outside training. They'll do their mandatory once a year qual. They'll blow off the lint out of their pistol and they'll go shoot their 50 rounds, call it good, put a new one in, and go. And I didn't like that. I was always the one that was trying to seek as much training as possible. So then I looked at it upon myself as, well, hey, I have quite a few years in the striking and the grappling side. Let me see who's interested. So it started out, a very good sergeant of mine knew that my background, and so they would like, hey, why don't you teach some of our guys? Okay, so before shift, after shift, we would go into, we called it the mock jail. We had a jail that was not used, and we would do striking. I would do striking with a lot of the deputies, and a lot of them were like, whoa. And it's funny to teach someone who does not know how to even throw a regular punch or to even protect themselves from a punch, seeing their eyes light up and giving them that knowledge and that safety that they can then hopefully use one day to protect themselves or someone else. And I love the coaching side of things. I love giving someone that empowerment, that confidence, that comfort level that if something bad happens, you're going to be just fine and here's how to handle it. And so I did that for a while. I would train a lot of the deputies. And then so I started thinking, well, I also have a lot of this firearms knowledge as well. I've been to a lot of trainings and shooting courses and things like that. Um, I have my instructor certs and all these things. Okay, well, let me start teaching cops and law enforcement how to do that. So in 2020 is when I actually started Stay Ready training. It started with the mixed martial arts. I invited a bunch of law enforcement and just regular people out. We would train, I believe back then it was 3 days a week. And then I put on um, like a women's self-defense class. Hey, come in and we'll teach you what to look for, situational awareness, things like that. Had a huge success, loved it. And then it just started growing. We started adding classes. Then there was the kids classes, and I love seeing that as well because I think getting your kids taught these things at an early age is very important.
Agreed.
But I definitely saw that the original reason why I started it, and even now to help law enforcement. And there's even times now where I will put out, hey, law enforcement is, you know, extremely cheap, and here's the day, and it's just for law enforcement, and it still doesn't seem they show up, as to where that does, make me sad that, hey, I wish more would. I see a lot of more civilians coming out. I see a lot more moms. Like we have I've got an amazing female firearms instructor, Aubrey, who she heads the entire women's only side of Stay Ready. And she does, like I said, women love this, love her to death. She is an amazing instructor. She just has that aura about her.
Yeah.
And I love seeing these women that have never touched a gun, shot a gun, come out, and by the end of it, they're, you know, given a 10 round count center mass, and they're just getting it in the A zone, and it's just like wow. And to see their excitement and their level, that's I love that part of it. So I love seeing, even though I wish more law enforcement would come out to our courses, because again that's where it started for me. But through this process of these 6 years, the amount of people that have come through that are just the general public that we have helped, the moms, the even the men that come out and they're like, hey, I've never touched a gun before, and I just want this training. Giving them that confidence is also is just amazing. We have prior military that come out, active military that come out, and it's really cool that they even are like, hey, I learned something from your course, even though I sometimes get a little intimidated when someone with three letters behind where they're coming from, or hey,
Right.
I have this many years or this many decades in a specialty, and they come out and they take a class and they're like, wow, I didn't see it from that perspective.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are definitely, that's the reason why I started it, and that's the reason why I do it today. Is I love giving someone the confidence, the comfort of being able to protect themselves or someone else.
Well, and there's a pretty alarming statistic. I'm not going to say which range it was or which instructor it was. However, back when I was competing, they were giving a debriefing before you were allowed to compete and so on. And this is not me trash talking law enforcement, but he said that every single accidental discharge that has happened uh, since like 1983 that has involved someone being injured, every single time it was law enforcement. When you're in firearms and such, in competition world, in law enforcement, there's a lot of ego. And then I think that there's a sense of also being scared that you're going to go out there to compete, or you're going to go out there and show your actual lack of skill. And I would assume, knowing you as I do, you're not that man. You're not going to vilify somebody. You're not going to make fun of somebody for not being able to be at this elite level of training.
Absolutely not. One of the a statement that I always use is at Stay Ready Training, it's not what we teach, because I think anyone can go out and pull the trigger, stand like this. I always say it's not what we teach, it's how we teach. So on all of our reviews, everything it says is they made me feel comfortable, they made me feel confident, and I those are the absolute reviews that I love, is seeing that someone came out and yes, we'll address and we'll correct all the issues, and we'll make you hopefully a more accurate, better shooter, confident and comfortable with your firearm, pistol, rifle, whatever it may be. Um, but yeah, we're not going to sit there and yell at you. We're going to quietly make our adjustments that are needed to give the best results that we can. Um, there's even a time where I remember we were doing a large event and with suppressed weapons, and there was an AD that went off, right? And the person that did it, one of my instructors was actually right next to them. It was a suppressed weapon, hit the ground right in front of that person, and they freaked out. And great instructor, just kind of calmly, hey, next time let's do this. Let's not have that happen. And she was freaking out. She was thinking that she was going to maybe get kicked off this range. We're like, no, accidents happen. This is what we need to do to correct it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it was addressed. There was no yelling. There was no screaming. There was no belittling, because that person already felt pretty bad about what they had done. They knew the mistake that they had made.
Right.
We're not there to jump on you instantly and be like, hey, yes, we do hold safety extremely high, but at the same time, we understand that everyone's out there to learn. And that's what we're there for also, is to teach you at a comfortable pace, a comfortable environment. Because a lot of people, firearms, you're stressed out as it is. You don't need me barking at you. You don't need me screaming at you to make you even more, stressed out.
Well, I've said this to people when they talk about gun control, and I think I mentioned it when we interviewed Michael and Vanzen, is that I always tell people when they're anti-firearms and such, I go like, look, I completely understand where you're coming from. This is a very loud thing, and it has the ability to kill you. And if you don't know about it and you're not comfortable with handling it because you don't have the repetition, I can see where that would be intimidating. However, for us that do know how to use it, perhaps you should understand it's not scary to us. This is a tool, just like a hammer. It can kill somebody, but it doesn't mean it's going to in the right hands with someone who's trained and knows how to use it. And I'm a huge proponent for training. I have a friend, love this man to death, but at one point I had to have a conversation with him, and I was like, look, man, you're not a shooter. You're just a gun collector, and that's okay too.
Nice guns can assist you in being accurate and comfortable, but nothing takes over for training. You can have the best gun in the world, and if you don't have fundamentals down, it's going to look messy.
I agree.
So I'm absolutely a huge person. You could go out there with a, $300, I won't say a Sky, but you could go out there with a couple $100 gun, and with proper training, be comfortable and proficient with it. So yeah, the gun doesn't make the shooter, the training does.
I agree. I'm a huge advocate for practicing training, paying for training, like doing all the things that one needs to do to become proficient with their weapon, because I agree with you. Like, you can go buy a staccato and make all the boys jealous, or, and I'm sure there's somebody in the comment section, well, I hate whatever.
Absolutely.
They're fantastic. But, you can go buy yourself a $5,000 staccato, and if you don't know how to use it, somebody with just I'm not going to say a negative name, but somebody with a trash pistol is going to outperform you for sure.
Absolutely.
So I'm a huge proponent for it. And you're still offering female courses right now?
Absolutely. So we just finished up. Aubrey just did our women's only level 2 pistol. We usually offer a women's only level 1 pistol and rifle, level 2 pistol rifle also. And then we have a combo course where you can use both. Actually, this coming up Monday, we call it Guns N' Roses, but it's a date night.
Nice.
So actually, her and her husband, they both teach it, and couples come out and they learn together. It's really, really cool. How we also started is, and one of our things for all of our classes is we give the why. I think a lot of people, they're scared of what they don't know. So we break the pistol down, or we break whatever the weapon system is down to every single thing that's out there, every little nomenclature part, and we say its reason for being there, why it's used, when it's used, and things like that. And even through, this is why we take this step this way, this is why we may rotate this way, this is why we keep our shoulders relaxed. Everything that we do, we back it up with a why as well.
What other kind of trainings do you guys give?
So we have kids classes. The youngest we've had out there is 7 years old. Those classes are more limited because, again, we usually have one instructor for every 2 kids. So usually those class sizes cap right around 6.
Okay.
So we have kids class. We have, I'll say co-ed, level 1 rifle, level 1 pistol, level 2 rifle, level 2 pistol, even a level 3 pistol. We have a women's only, again, the ones before, the same exact ones, and that's for women only. So men don't even come out. We'll ask you if you come out, stay in your car, because we want them to be as comfortable as possible.
Absolutely.
We have the date night. We do force on force training out at there's a place in Gilbert that we use, full arena. So we use like airsoft pistols and things like that.
Okay.
We do that for corporate events, private groups. We do one-on-one lessons. Anything that goes bang, we can teach on it. And anywhere from one person that comes out up to 20, 30. We have an events. We partner with Ronin Arms. They're out of Texas.
I love that guy.
Yeah. So he's a very good friend of mine, Scott and Misty with Ronin Arms.
Yeah.
We partner with them, and we've done several of events with them where they come out and we use all of their integrally suppressed platforms. There's actually one for Misty. She started up Ronin Women. So on the 28th of March, she's coming out and she's going to bring some of the weapon systems, and it's strictly for women to come out and feel empowered, get this training with their integrally suppressed weapons. And so we hold those events often we partner with them.
What other things do you have going on right now? You have a new pistol coming out, right, Chris?
Yes. So one of the things I'm very excited about is it took a while to design because I was very meticulous about what went into this, but we have our own SRT package from Forged Up out in Tempe. They are making the SRT package for Glocks to start out with, and then we'll transition to other pistols. But it's our design for the front serrations, specific design, so you get a positive grip on the front end of the pistol to do manipulations. It has a slide cut. They're ported. The barrel will be ported. What that does is reduces muzzle flip, less felt recoil, things like that. They will optic cut it for whatever optic that you prefer, whether it be Holosun, Trijicon, whatever your platform you use. It will then have specific slide cuts on the side again, more for that positive grip. It'll have specific hand stippling done to get fitted for your hand way better. Has ambidextrous gas pedals that are going to be textured as well. It'll have drop-in Glock triggers, magwell, and again an extended beaver tail as well. So also trigger cuts underneath to get your hand placement a lot better, higher up on the gun. So it's things that, through my experience of shooting, what I think helps the shooter. It's been designed for the shooter to make everything just a more successful platform.
Where can people check this out at?
So it's currently being built out in Tempe. We're hoping to have the first one done late next month.
Okay.
By the end of March, I'm hoping to have it out so we can show everybody. Yeah, I'm just excited.
Oh, so you're not releasing any pictures yet?
Nothing yet. No. We're doing a lot of build up on it. Once we have it out, that's when we'll absolutely display it to everybody, and then you'll be able to go down there and ask for the specific SRT package for your Glock, and they'll take it in, do everything that we've designed, and go from there.
You guys got a price tag on it yet?
We're still playing around with it, but it won't be that much.
Okay.
The guys over at Forged Up, they know what they're doing. They're very, very, very good at what they do. So I'm excited for it, man.
I have one closing question for you. However, before we go to that, I want everybody to know how to be able to get a hold of you if they're looking to get that SRT Glock, if they're looking to do any type of training or date night training or anything like that. How do they get a hold of you, Chris?
Awesome. They can check out the social media. It's at Stay Ready AZ on all of them: Facebook, Instagram.
Last question. This comes from a friend of mine. Closed door on a center fed room. Are you splitting the door or are you going strong wall?
Split the door every time.
I love it. Chris, thanks for coming out, brother. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you've probably heard people talking about peptides. It piqued your interest, you looked into it, but you don't know what source to trust. A lot of this stuff is coming out of China. If you're looking for a good quality peptide that's made in the United States, go to helixpure.com.